de implementación de todo esto y sabemos que efectivamente no se pueden cambiar las cosas de un día para otro. Quiero que por favor el equipo de producción nos ponga entonces nuevamente a Alain Lawrence, quien estaba por conversar con nosotros. Steve, how are you? How you doing? The first question is, what do you think about the gold and the Bitcoin? And then we will speak about the market. Thank you for coming, Steve. How are you doing?
First of all, thank you, like always, for having me on. Secondly, and more importantly, okay, let's talk about gold. Gold will go higher here, okay? And the reason why it will go higher, it's an indication of two things. Number one, just so the public knows that the United States of America has the most gold in the world, by far. Not one times, 3 to 4 times, period. So we have the largest reserves of gold. That's number one. Double and triple the amount of China, okay? But gold is an indication of fear, okay? But what you're seeing with gold now is that there isn't a lot of gold out there, actually, okay? If you look at publicly traded pawn shops, I mean, large institutions, okay, there isn't a lot of gold out there, okay? So actually the supply is very tight. Secondly, and more importantly, okay, what you're seeing with the Bitcoin is this, okay? It's become a real asset class, all right? There's a correlation between the BTC, Ethereum, and gold and interest rates. The market's telling you that. It's telling you that. So now it's become a justifiable instrument that the public can get involved in. That's what we see right now. We will go higher here in the stock market.
Well, I remember last time you went live with us, I think it was Monday, March 31st, and I promised to bring you back right after your comments about buy everything, buy now. Unfortunately, the market tanked for a little bit. The VIX went over 60 at some point to then come back to more regular, quote-unquote, normal levels. Now with the VIX at around 29, there is a lot of people in the same bandwagon like you saying that we should buy the dip, buy the market, and buy any pullback. Do you think that any potential pullback is a tradable buy-in for the foreseeable future? What do you think, Steve?
Let me just address something, okay, which is very important for the reader, for the viewership. Okay, no one can ever pick a bottom or a top. No one can. Okay, so what you know, when I go into any position, okay, I never own too much of anything because no one has perfect timing. All right, but what you'll see, okay, there's a lot of value in very specific sectors. The market is telling you that. Look at a company like Boeing today, the worst news in the world. China, we're not going to order anymore. It's a very simple thing. There are only 2 places in the world that can build airplanes: Boeing and Airbus. And there's a backlog till the end of time. Okay, so what we're seeing right now with the tariffs, okay, is nothing. We're just seeing posturing. We're calling it's the psychological ploy of the markets. And what you also see in the tech sector, and especially in sectors like pharma, okay, is that there's a rotation. But if you look at companies like right now, Meta's on the hot seat. This is a big transaction for Meta right now. All right, but let me say this to you, okay? All right, you know, the antitrust lawsuits against Meta, I firmly believe, okay, that Meta will be a winner in that, okay? He knows how, he knows how to make money. B, okay, he's very consistent. Okay, he is someone that deploys capital into an idea via acquisition, and he's been able to demonstrate that. He cannot control the market, but what he can control, okay, all right, is the genre of the data. All right, and that's what you need to understand. And what you also need to understand right now is that there are many companies that have incredible value right now. Incredible value. I mean, you look.
What do you like? What do you like? What do you like specifically, Steve? If you have to tell me 3 or 4 companies,
I will tell you exactly what I like, okay, and why I like it, okay. I like companies like Johnson & Johnson, all right, because they know how to print money, okay. I like companies like Ringerian Pharmaceuticals, all right. I like the pharma sector right now because the world doesn't like it. All right, but they know, not only do they know how to make money, they know logistics, they know business. I love companies, okay, like Walmart. I love them, okay? I mean, they have a bona fide track record of not only making money, understanding the psyche of the consumer, okay? All right. And there are companies like Costco, they just know how to understand the logistical models, right? And I can name you 3M, all right? The whole world was against 3M, okay? And suddenly, out of nowhere, okay, they're solid as a rock. You go to specific banks, go to Fifth Third, great bank, run like a tank, okay? Go to Northern Trust, okay? I mean, these are really well-run institutions. What you need to understand right now is that we're negotiating. The United States of America and China, all right, they always say that, China is a conjoined twin with Taiwan. No, the reality is that the United States of America and China are conjoined twins. They're one. And they're just negotiating a transaction right now, right? And they will negotiate something that makes sense because everyone needs to save face when they do a transaction. Somebody needs to feel like they're a winner, okay? So how does the public accept and the market accept who the winner is? Right now, okay, if we're in a recession, the market has already priced it in. It's already priced it in. I mean, you saw the psychology of the market, okay? What did you see? You saw that, you saw the NASDAQ and the Dow. No money change hit, just the perception of something may happen. That's how powerful, okay, the psychology is when it comes to buying or selling an asset. So what I've always understood, okay, is that you need to be able to, look at the forest through the trees. That's the hardest thing about the market. The hardest
You've
thing.
been very bullish, and I understand you've been very bullish.
Oh, I've been bullish and I've been bearish on other things. I've been bearish on Tesla.
In the hypothetical scenario, Steve, that we have a retest of the lows, and we break those lows, do you still bullish, or at some points you change your dynamic? And you have like a 45 seconds because we have plenty of things happening in the market. Tell me, what do you think?
I don't change my dynamics, not at all. Okay, all right, because I know that there are companies that have intrinsic value, that they're worth something. Okay, and that's the bottom line. I don't allow the noise out there to affect what the value is of something. All right. And that is the bottom line. That is truly the bottom line. I don't let it, because I know nothing really dynamically has not happened. I just know that they're both negotiating, right? And it's the experience, of being in this business, since 1989, all right? I've seen what I've seen. So this is not the first time that I've seen that. As someone who invests, I don't opine on political situations. I opine on the reality of what value is and to determine it. Good management, good companies will sustain anything. Bad companies, bad management, they will go out of business. That's the reality of what it is, all right?
Listen, we are very happy for you again coming to the space, to the Tribune. Not only that, I will keep in mind for the audience that you're still bullish. And even though we come back, Steve Alain Lawrence from Balfour Capital Group is telling everybody you should be aware of the value of certain companies, and perhaps any of those opportunities might be a buying opportunity. Anything you want to add in these last 30 seconds that we close the interview, please?
It's, in my mind, it's like this, Don't own too much of anything with this type of volatility. If you buy $100,000 worth of something, you buy $5,000 right now. That's the moral to the story, You're never going to catch the bottom, and you're never going to catch the top of something, all right? It's just impossible. It is, But when you see value, okay, and there's volatility and there's fear, and there are actual numbers that quantify it, you buy less, okay? It's okay to be wrong, but be right over the long term. That's, that is the message that I'm giving to you and all the investors out there, okay? All right, and I appreciate the time, and like always, it's great to speak to you.
Thank you. We're going to bring you back before the end of the month because obviously everything is changing extremely quickly. Thank you very much for your opinion, and we'll speak soon. Thank you, Steve. Have a nice day.
Yep. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.